Hi, my name is MJ, and I chose to do my project over fast fashion and the importance of sustainability. When I transferred to Texas State from Blinn, I was on track to be a business major, and I knew I wanted to finish it out because I already had a bunch of courses, but I wanted to follow my true passions, which were fashion merchandising and sociology. And an advisor introduced me to the general studies degree. A lot of my research over the past 2.5 years since being here has been driven by fast fashion, and it really is like the pinnacle of all three of my minors. And it perfectly integrates a sociological point of view, a business point of view, and obviously a fashion merchandise point of view. When I talk about fast fashion, I'm referring to the overconsumption and overproduction of very cheap materials, usually in very hazardous lines of production in what we know as sweatshops. So anytime you see a tag on your clothes that says made in China, made in Indonesia, that was made in a sweatshop by either a woman or a child, working in very hazardous, unrepresented conditions. The factories themselves are very hazardous, and there's a lot of lack of representation when it comes to the labor laws. By learning about sweatshops in some of my fashion merchandising courses, I was already focused on more sustainable practice as a consumer and a producer, but that really struck my interest on how we could solve this problem, not only fast fashion, but just like there's no reason whatsoever for sweatshops to ever be in use. And it is a facet of fast fashion. Um, Another problem with fast fashion is the materials used are primarily synthetic materials that are made of plastics like nylon and polyester. So with that being said, anytime that they're washed in hot water, these plastic materials break down and go back into our water system. The runoff from these sweatshops and our water systems is really, really dangerous as well. So not only are we harming people, but we're also harming the planet. And this is primarily how fashion is produced today. And fast fashion has really manipulated us as consumers into this idea that the fashion industry is just super disposable. So like if you go to your favorite cheap store like Forever 21 and buy a cheap shirt for $12, you might not be angry whenever you have to throw it away in 3 months. And that's not what fashion is about. Fashion should be about quality and expressing yourself all together. With my research over the years and just doubling down on that research for this project specifically, it was confirmed that the fast fashion industry is responsible for over 10% of the world's carbon emissions. And going back to the nylon and polyester, over 70% of the materials used are nylon and polyester, these very plasticky materials. I myself have taught myself how to sew within the last year and a half, and I'm in the midst of creating my own small business that's focusing on sustainable practices. I love that I source these materials from the Texas Hill Country, and I use 100% cotton to create the same trends that we all see that fast fashion companies end up ripping off and making in a very cheap and dangerous way. This is a very personal solution to myself, and I love that I'm able to share and inspire other people through my own business doing this stuff. Um, but a more practical solution from a more sociological and business standpoint would be to have consumers recognize their power as consumers and the power behind the dollar. And it's something that I've thought a lot over the last 2 years. I'm so glad for this opportunity of the project because I have really, really, really thought about how we could do something about this very unprecedented topic. And I believe that when consumers understand the power of their dollar just as much as they understand the importance of sustainability, that these fast fashion companies will not be able to thrive any longer. Right now, it doesn't seem like they're anywhere close to their way out, but there is an uprise of a lot of sustainable shopping measures, and people in our generation specifically are more interested in being sustainable. So I only can think of positive things, and I really hope to be a part of the change one day, and I'm excited for this positive, sustainable direction that we're going in. But as of right now, yes, fast fashion is the demise of the planet, and I will do everything I can to stop it from my own personal standpoint and to educate others on how to be a sustainable consumer and the importance of that. Thank you. No one say a word, okay?